Now, in the next response, Pat Bev actually takes it up to a whole other level as he brings sort of a Walt Disney kind of theme music in the background as he begins to respond back to Trae Young. This is some true Chi-Town shit right here with the music. Just peep the whole ambiance of how he's gonna respond right here.
Now, if any other all-star would have said something, I would have let it slide. But you, like, you out of all people, you had no room to say anything. You haven't done anything. So, when it comes to criticism, why the fuck you can't be criticized? Like, what have you done where you can't be criticized? Like, we criticize Russell Westbrook, a two-time MVP. Motherfuckers call him Westbrook. We criticize LeBron James, right? We criticize all these people. What? Who the fuck said you can't be criticized?
This is hilarious. The fucking theme music with the pianos. Oh, Pat Bev is taking this NBA podcaster shit to a whole other level. This is crazy.
Like, you haven't done anything. So until you've done something, yes, you have to be criticized. And you should appreciate it because the criticism isn't coming from a player who hasn't played. It's coming from somebody who's shared the floor with you. Left a mark in the NBA. Right? So like, miss me with all that. Like, I'm with you. You're the fastest person to 12,000 points, and you're the fastest person to 4,000 assists, and you get scored on the most in the NBA. Empty stats, we call them. That's the truth. That is the hard truth, bro. Like, that's the truth. And use it as motivation. And it's gonna be motivation because you got on your platform, you said your thing, you popped your shit. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you did, bro. Like, I appreciate that. It makes me sense. You got a sense of fire in you, but the truth is the truth, bro. You don't win. And until you start winning, it's when your word can become bigger. If this was anybody else, I'd take it. You know what? KD, you got it. I can't say nothing to you. What I'm gonna say to KD, Brian, you got it. But you, on the other hand, nah, you ain't got it. Humble yourself. Embrace the constructive criticism. Get better at that and move the fuck on. We don't have to keep going back like this a motherfucking YouTube debate. Like, it ain't that deep. You talk about uncomfortable. You talk about me coming to the league at 24. Do you know where I was at before you get the name and shit, right? We talk about being uncomfortable. You think you can make it out of second division Ukraine, right? You think you can go to Greece? Make a team, right? Make a team and get out of Greece and get drafted. You think you can go play in Russia for 3 years, make it out, still go to the NBA? You talking about uncomfortable? I'm the motherfucker that know uncomfortable more than anybody.
Yo, making it out of second division Ukraine sounds wild in 2025. Sheesh.
Right? But with all that, we go talk facts, right? Like, because I like to go facts. And anything I say, right, is don't take it how I'm saying it. Just take it, is it true, yes or no? Simple as that, right? Facts. This is a fact. Everyone that comes sees Trae Young, they get thrown out the building by their column. You hear me? Players come, they see you, they get traded. Coaches come, they coach you, they get traded. GMs come, they govern the team, and then they get fired. Everyone that sees Trae Young gets fired. That's the truth. That is the truth, right?
Now that part is what Trae Young really has to address. Once again, the team has not hired a president in over 2 seasons, but yet they hired a vice president most recently and an analytics guy to work right underneath that position. It's either they can't fill it or it's looking like no one wants to take that job with Trae Young there because he is truly hard to build around, and we could see the results. The Hawks have gone through 3 different variations with him being on the team, and the tall tale sign is that DeJounte Murray situation. They gave away multiple first-round picks for him just to trade him away again.
No one has coach killer. Like, no one has. People are scared to play in Atlanta. This is the truth. I don't know if you know or not. Feel me? I really don't know if you know or not, right? Players don't want to come play in Atlanta. Coaches don't want to come coach in Atlanta. Lloyd Pierce, great young coach. Nick McMillan, phenomenal coach. Cooked when they came and saw you. Cooked. We talking about coaches who had bright futures, right? People come see you after they leave you, they're cooked. That's the truth. When I was overseas, you can ask anybody, the man. When I was in college, the man. In high school, the man. Can you be the man and come to the NBA and be a whole nother different role? Can you be an offensive threat your whole career, come to the NBA, all of a sudden you're the best defensive player? These are your words, not mine. These are you saying words about me. I'm a great defensive player. Can you switch your roles and become a great defensive player? You mentioned all the guys I played with, right? All the guys I played with. LeBrons, the James Hardens, the Kawhis, the Giannis's, the Dames, right? You name all these guys, right? But like, if I'm working out in Houston, James Harden is in Houston working out, not James Harden is working out at another place. Every time we see you, you're working out at another place. We never see you in the Hawks arena working out. What teammate, what leader? Like, I come to the Lakers facility, LeBron is there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I come to Milwaukee Bucks facility to get my work in. Greek is there already. James Harden has been there, practices, and he gonna come back that night. You're the only person we see on the internet never at your practice facility. It's wild. It's wild. Like we gonna be real, let's be real. That's real. You're not a great leader. Can you be a great leader? Yes. Yes, you can. Right? Right? Will it take this? Probably so. Regardless how it goes, it's gonna be good that comes out of this, regardless. Right? I hope this is motivating. Right? I hope that you get to the end of the year and you fighting for a playoff spot. I hope that this is so fucking motivating that this takes you to the Eastern Conference. I hope. Trust me. I like to see you at half court stripping them little ass shoulders. Right? But don't get it twisted, Trae. Like, don't get it twisted. When you talk about facts and basketball, these are facts. You don't win. People get fired. Simple as that. And we talk about like roles, right? We talk about, what you say, 7 points, right? Like that was my role, right? To make motherfuckers like you look good, right? To make motherfuckers who don't play defense, who are liabilities in the fourth quarter. If it's a tie game and the other team has the ball, you cannot be on the court. This is the truth. Everybody used to come want to play in Atlanta. Every coach used to come want to coach in Atlanta. Like, Atlanta is ATL shawty. Like, everybody want to be in the A. You got there, they've been awful. They've been god awful. The last point guard who held it down was Jeff Teague. You just on a power with him. Was Jeff Teague. All-star. Also. Want the main player. Got farther than you. Like, so come on with all that, dog. I'm all with you, Trae. I'm all with you. The game needs it. The game needs you to be in the playoffs, right? You're the closest motherfucking thing when it comes from shooting the ball to Steph Curry. You're the closest motherfucking thing. The game needs you. But you gotta sacrifice yourself more for the better of the team.
Damn, the NBA is a petty league, man. So much slight shade has been thrown. You know, from Trae Young mentioning Pat Bev being a just a defender, from Pat Bev saying you shrug your little shoulders, and NBA is crazy. These guys are petty to a degree. I mean, even Pat Bev just mentioning Jeff Teague got further than him. Come on, man. Jeff Teague and Trae Young is not even a comparison. Trae Young is a much better talent level.
And sometimes that means your game. Or sometimes that means your personality. Straight up. And that's all it is. Constructive criticism. Take it how you fucking want to take it. It don't matter to me. But don't take it personal. And I'm all with it, right? You call me anything. You call me crazy. You can call me delusional, right? But where I'm from, you have to be delusional to even make it out.
Yo, peep the music. Yo, the music is insane. Do they have like the Walt Disney character in the background playing the pianos and the synths?
Right. I know you talking about me standing on the table, me with my jersey. Where I'm from, we celebrate all wins, even the minor shit. Where I'm from, we celebrate waking up and making it back home. We celebrate every fucking win. And that's your issue right there. Anybody can celebrate the big wins. Motherfucker, yes, you damn right. took off jersey, stood on the motherfucking table, swung it in the air like this. You damn right I did. Do it again. We celebrate all wins. For real. Get out your feelings. Stop acting like a little boy. And when you talk, peep your motherfucking chest up and say it with heart. What are you talking about? Small wins. Yes, you celebrate everything. Every single thing. What are we talking about? It's basketball. But that's where I'm from. Feel me? You was in the house, I was in the field. Fucking delusion, man. Love, man.
So after this Walt Disney response, Pat Bev continued on and actually gave great insight to some of the politics of how certain people respond when you talk about certain players versus doing the same thing to other guys. And he also got into a nuanced discussion about the team game, the overall team dynamic of the NBA, which is really how you gain success in the league as far as winning.
I feel any of that, rebuttaling with emotion, So I think he wants a response, and I'm not gonna give it to him. He doesn't count.
Fair enough.
He doesn't count.
Yeah, if that's the company line, then you know what I mean. No reason to ask you for a statement on him if you're not making a statement on him.
Yeah, he doesn't count. I mean, I wanted to play everybody on that motherfucking show. Except Gilbert Arenas. Everybody been dunking me. Now everyone wants to play. It's wild. It's the craziest thing in the world. But it comes with entertaining and it comes with entertainment via social media.
If I'm you, I'm taking credit for every basket Trae Young makes this year.
Yeah, I think but I said that also.
Yeah,
it
you
helps.
wanted to inspire him.
Right. Not it helps. Right.
If he wins a championship, I think we point back to this conversation, and it's like, I think we deserve a little piece of that ring, Trae.
No. But it helps though. It helps pushes the game because people want to see him, rub the motherfucking shoulders at half court.
He can be the coldest.
You feel me? So it was never a who's better between me and Trae Young. That was never the argument. The argument only stemmed from how do you impact winning? And do you impact winning? And if you do, why don't you win? That's it.
Do you think it was disrespectful the way he was saying Patty Bev?
I don't know.
You never put fear in my heart, Patty Bev.
I mean, with a voice like that, I don't really take him serious. Every NBA guy called. So first person called me was Lou Will. Lou Will hit me with I don't like how you did it, but you're not wrong. People hit me about it, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a me against Trae Young thing. It was never that way.
You acknowledge he's a good basketball player.
He's motherfucking youngest motherfucker to 12,000 points to 4,000 assists. What you mean? Obviously, right? Obviously, but does that? And I always go back. Does that translate to winning? You feel me? You can say the numbers and you can say the ages and you can say whatever. I was 34-year-old starter. I was a 35-year-old starter. I was a 33-year-old starter. I was a 32-year-old starter. Is Trae Young going to be 33, 34, 35-year-old starter in this league? At that size? At that age?
That's a good question right there. That is a really good question right there because he's already killing it as far as the scoring and the assisting, but it's not really translating to wins. And he's young enough right now to put at least somewhat effort in the defensive end, and it's not really translating at all. So you can only imagine when he's an older player, much slower, and he might not have the same legs underneath him.
I've been in a situation in games where I'm like, hey, look, check it out. Hey, Beard. Hey, I got to chase this motherfucker Tony Parker around all motherfucking series. I'm going to be good for a game or two. You feel me? I'll get you 10 to 15 points, a game or two. But you gotta hold it down. You feel me? You gotta hold it down. I need you to, I need one of them 40 motherfuckers. Or hey, Lou, I got to chase Steph around this series, bro. All my energy go be on motherfucking Steph. So you gotta shoot some tough ones. In order.
And that's the dynamic that does not get talked about enough when people compare Trae Young's points per game versus Pat Bev and the impact he had as a starter on the Houston Rockets, who year in, year out finished at the top of their conference, and they had the expectation to make deep playoff runs.
For us to win, because you got to put points on the ground. I'm gonna try hard as I can to limit these motherfuckers. You feel me? But you got to pick up my slack. You know what I'm saying? But that's my message in the game. You feel me? It's no way I can guard Tony Parker, full court, advance pass. He come down off three strings, get it, play pick and roll. I gotta chase him all around, and I come down and dipsy do step back a motherfucker. Come on, man. I'm a I'm gonna wipe out middle of the third quarter, right?
And you know what? Klay Thompson does not get enough credit for that because night in, night out, he was defending Westbrook, Damian Lillard, all the dynamic point guards of the West, and yet he was still coming off of ball screens on the offensive end and shooting at a high enough clip to at least average 20 points per game. Prime Klay Thompson was a bad motherfucker. Very, very underrated, and people are quick to forget.
I have to save my energy so I can, you know, be what the team needs me to be at that time. And that time is slowing other players down, not scoring. Like my slowing other people down, like a guy who averages, 30, and he has 15. That's plus 15 for me and anything else from me. 6 or 8, cool. Now I'm at 23, 22, right? If you go analytics wise. So that's how I look at everything. I had to save so motherfucking much energy guarding these motherfuckers. It's just different.
Lou said that he liked what you said, but didn't like how you said it, or whatever the exact message of. What do you think he meant? Can you give a little bit more color to that conversation?
He meant like the organization plays a fault at that also. I'm like, okay, cool, that's a different story. But he, you know, Trae he's had 100 teammates also, right? So like, I understand that, right? I'm just saying, Lou, is this. Russell Westbrook good on the motherfucking internet, motherfucker doing an interview, Russell Westbrook go up there. Pat Bev don't play defense, he trick y'all. The next 2 years I had statistically some of the best defensive numbers I've ever had in my career. I didn't receive a defensive trophy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody called Russell Westbrook and said, man, why you saying that about Pat Bev, man? I had some NBA guys say, man, you gonna hurt his pockets. And then my response, Shump hit me. Come on, Pat, man, we don't need that G. I feel you, but like, we don't want to hurt nobody's pockets. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, because when Russ said that shit about me, you ain't hit Russ.
That's facts. And it is true that this is going to hurt Trae Young's pockets if the way Pat Bev kind of brought this into the spotlight with so many head coaches, so many different variations of players. And at the same time, it is a double-edged sword because guys are not going to come to defense of role players like Pat Bev when Russell Westbrook, the star at the time, would say something major to hurt his pockets because he clearly put up his best statistical defensive numbers, but yet it really wasn't reflected in his pockets because soon later he was just bouncing from team to team.
You know what I'm saying? So it's okay if someone else do it. Draymond told the motherfucker, Draymond Green told the motherfucker, Rodney McGruder. I think Rodney McGruder was arguing with Klay Thompson. Draymond get on after the game, tell me, yeah, he ain't gonna be in the league next couple years. Next couple years he went in the league. Nobody said, Draymond, you bogus, man. Why you do that, man? You gonna fuck up that man money. Why does he get a pass?
Yeah, I think that keeping it real and then keeping a good narrative so nobody's money gets fucked up is like those two ideas can't coexist.
No, but it's okay for others to do it though, right? Motherfucker said Pat Bev don't play defense. He tricked y'all. He's just running around, right? Everybody laughed at it. Man, Pat, you don't play no defense? I'm like, damn, I'm really probably in that span of Houston Rockets Clippers, I probably was the best defensive guard in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? At that time, right? After that, I had better numbers and people didn't even notice them, all because of what Russell Westbrook said.
We need a retraction from Russ.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and then 4 years later, we teammates. Cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So like it's cool when they do it. But when I do it, it's like, Pat, why you say that, man? Nah, you can't say it. Like, nah, like I ain't. Let's be fair. That's it. And if I've lied, if I said one lie, right? If I said one lie, it was like, nah, Pat, you capping, right? Then call me out on it. I'm just giving you hard facts, the hard truth. Simple as that. I don't have to go back and forth. And I'm trying to attack your character, and I'm not trying to compare myself to fucking Trae Young. Like, the fuck? Nah.
Two different types of players.
Yeah, two different type of players, and you know, like the argument is, Pat, you've never been an all-star. Goddamn, no shit, Sherlock. Like you're telling me something I do know, right? Like I do know, and everyone else know. But I have been to the playoffs 9 times. I have. Whether if I was the starting guard on that team in the playoffs every time. Like, you know, like. So you can say option, you can say 4th option, 5th option. I was the starting point guard / 2 guard, whatever my position was when I was with James Harden or wasn't with James Harden. However, okay, I was the starting point guard on 9 years, for several different NBA teams, East and West. So you can say what you want to say.
You think you and Trae Young would fit together well in a backcourt?
Yeah, because he's naturally a 2. His success he had in the playoffs was when Lou Will had the ball, him coming off down screens and him initiating. Lou Will initiating, him getting easy buckets. Trae got to, break somebody down, get into the paint, they go collapse. You got to make throw lob pass, you got to throw kick out pass, you got to get this shit off the dribble. Like, easy buckets is easy buckets. It's the same shit with how Steph get his shit now.
So it'd be nice to have you guys on the same team. Maybe we just squash this thing, and you know what I mean?
It's never a beef. Internet makes things bigger than what it is, but it's never a Trae Young beef. I'm talking to Trae Young dad and Summerlee. Dad, like, thanks, Pat. Thanks for taking up for my son. Like, yeah, man, he deserved to be on the USA team. Like, you feel me? Like, don't get it twisted. Like, we've shouted Trae Young out on the pod a ton. But when you come for me, let all-stars speak for themselves, it's only a certain amount of motherfuckers that can tell me that. Kevin Durant, he say that, I ain't gonna say a word. Steph Curry tell me that, I don't have a word. James Harden tell me that. Russell Westbrook tell me that. Giannis tell me that. Giannis responded. Pat, I play hard. Like Ray saying, I play hard. You know what you do. It wasn't a beef there. But it's levels to this shit. We criticize James Harden. He's never won a championship. Motherfucker never missed the playoffs neither. Never. Right? We criticize Draymond Green. No, he's an awful teammate. He whoop on his team. He whoop on his teammates. He's an awful teammate. So we can't say anything about Trae without it being like, oh yeah, you're wrong. How dare you do that? Oh, blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy. Like, come on, man. Let's be fair. We're in the business and we're in an era where everyone's criticized. And it's better than a player who's actually played to say it than someone who's never played the game. Says something that people don't agree with. Oh, you've never been an all-star. It's like the
moving of the goalposts.
I'm talking the goalposts move so much. Like, what y'all want? Like, what y'all want? What y'all want? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just how it is.
It's how it is.
But people don't understand it. Like, you can't say that I lied. Like, everyone I talk to, like, was it my delivery? Like, yeah.
You could tell that he wasn't really lying because just the response, like Shumpert saying, come on, man, you gonna mess up his money. Like, nobody says, yo, Pat Bev, you talking crazy. Everything you said was false. Like, he didn't get any response like that. Like, even Lemon Pepper Lou kind of gave him like, yo, man, like, kind of give him a break. So at the end of the day, the elephant in the room was never addressed of what Pat Bev was really talking about. The number of teammates that are in and out the door, the 3 head coaches in 5 seasons, and also the fact that even in the front office, the team has left the president's role empty for multiple seasons and even hired a vice president and an analytics guy to kind of occupy that position in the meantime, but not necessarily claim the responsibility of that role.
Was it my delivery because I'm Pat Bev? Yeah. Okay. So you watch the games more. You watch the games. You tell me who don't play hard. It'll be good for basketball. Like, however it plays out is going to be good for basketball. I was just shocked that I got a tribute video for Atlanta Hawks. They put like a whole tribute video of me getting scored on. But then I go like, okay, that's cool. Who won the most? And again, I wasn't wrong. We played the Hawks in a 7-game series. We played them 7 times. I was on a team where we beat them 4 out of 3. And if a 7-game series, that would be, I win, they lose. I mean, what else are we talking about? And I remember Paul George telling me like, nah, Pat, he's a legitimate scorer. Like, he can put the ball in the hole. But I'm like, all right, PG. He like, nah, Pat, like, he can hoop. You feel me? Like,
and then you were like, can he win though?
Right. I mean, what is it? Say less. My argument is always going to be, can you win?
Right.
So well, but argument. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
And that right there is the gap in this whole Pat Bev versus Trae Young debate. There's a side of the NBA audience that respects the numbers and just the individual beauty of the NBA game versus a side that kind of pays attention to more of the winning dynamic. You can't be Michael Jordan without winning. You can't be Kobe without winning, or even LeBron James without winning. Winning is a huge component of their brands. And in this modern NBA era, they're just starting to begin to kind of phase out the branding of certain players as stars who don't normally win. We talking about like the Bradley Beal archetypes, the guys who put up more than 20 points per game, but yet they don't even make the playoffs, not even the play-in, if that. Labeling these guys stars or superstars is kind of a false branding, and it dumbs down the real superstars of the league. It dumbs down their branding a little bit when you just sort of name the best player on every team, you know, quote unquote, a superstar.
If this is golf and this is tennis, then oh yeah, he got a crazy overhand slam. His putt game is unbelievable. He could drive it 250 yards. I admit, but this is not the sport we in. We're in a team fucking sport. Well, sacrificing has to be done from everybody.
Who averaged more, Cam Thomas or Trae Young this past year?
Probably Trae.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a team sport.
On a championship contending team, Cam Thomas will definitely be a player off the bench. He would be perfect in the same role that Ray Allen was for the Miami Heat when LeBron was down there. And low-key, people don't realize this, another player that kind of fits into that same role was CJ McCollum. When he was in Portland, being a number 2 option is great on a regular season team or just a team just making a little bit of playoff noise, but I'm talking about the real championship contending teams. CJ is a perfect role player to come off the bench and drop like 15 points in a series. Him and Cam Thomas are not efficient enough on the offensive end, especially when teams kind of clamper down and play high-level defense in the playoffs. The referees' whistles are tucked in. They're not going to get those foul calls, and their defense is not nowhere near as proficient as it needs to be for them to be on the floor for more than 25 minutes.
It's a team sport, right? This is not a one-on-one sport. This is a team sport. It's a team sport. Like it only comes down to winning and losing.
20. They both had 24. Okay, interesting. One got $6 million. The other one is going to get $6 million after you fuck up his money.
Shit.
And right there, Pat Bev's host brought up a great point. His comments really could fuck up Trae Young's money. That's where all this really comes down to. And the other players throughout the league that kind of warned Pat Bev to tone it down a little bit, they pretty much expressed the same sentiment. But going back to the major gap between the two different NBA audiences in this whole Trae Young versus Pat Bev conversation is really the impact of a superstar's points per game on the team's ability to win. And Richard Jefferson has sat down with his crew and they spoke about how Mari Stoudemire brought up the fact that players like Carmelo Anthony came to the Knicks and kind of slowed down their ball movement, and how certain star players' production don't necessarily translate into winning. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
I think it's an observation, not a criticism. I think it's true, right? Like that is like Carmelo was a playoff player in Denver. He's been to the playoffs. It's not like his scoring translates to wins. Now the level of wins and how far they can go is one thing, but you do have to change the style of flow, right? Like same with Luka, same with certain guys that are so good, and Carmelo's one of them. You have to change the flow. Now in D'Antoni's system at the time, and the Knicks were cooking, they were like, can't we get something to add to the flow versus bringing in someone that is a flow changer, right? Rightfully so. Carmelo is that dude. So it wasn't, I don't think that that's a knock. I think that's an observation, right? I've seen Carmelo in the runs, right? So LA runs, Carmelo, like they're all cracking jokes about like who was going to shoot the last shot, and everybody was kind of like, it was like after the game. And like, they was like, yeah, some people, and then like 2-3 people looked at him, like kind of side-eyeing, and he just, goddamn right, I'm gonna shoot every fucking time, right? Like his mindset, even in the LA runs, were of like, I'm that dude. It's recognized. But for Amari, who played with Steve Nash, who played in the 7 seconds or less Suns, that played in that motion, the ball just keeps going. That's a very, very different thing. So I don't view that as a criticism.
No, it's not criticism. I think it's a fact. I mean, it is a fact. Playing with Alvin Gentry, who is obviously playing with Amari and Steve Nash and those teams, who weren't 7 seconds or less, maybe 10, but like the ball popping and flowing in specific spaces, and also the emphasis a little bit earlier on like threes, free throws, and layups. So think about D'Antoni, think about James Harden. James Harden is a D'Antoni guy. They are tried and true, right? Same with Daryl Morey. They are efficiency. Carmelo's like, I'm just better than you and can score 50. Fuck all this plays. I don't want to play fast. Give me the ball. Y'all go over there. When I get double teamed, then you might get the rock. But Carmelo's success is because of his skill set that allowed him to be anywhere and score anywhere on the floor. We didn't really have a lot of post plays when I was with Alvin. It was more screen and roll, and then our read is looking at everyone. So like from the top down, and then where Carmelo's like,
Give me the
throw
ball.
rock, and then you stand. So your role is more of a, you don't get as many offensive touches. But on that team, because Amari he's very, very good on the block, but he's way better at screening and rolling, that creates so much gravity dropping the defense down, and now you get wide open jumpers. Melo, you like, well, I might not see this for about a quarter or two, so then I just gotta be ready.
And you guys both know this. Then because of a player's greatness and the way he plays, he is judged, can he turn that into wins? Championships. That's it. Can Kobe go be that? That's why those 2 championships after Shaq left. Can he go be that guy and score all the points? Jordan did it. So for Carmelo, it was, I think, the one thing that he's a winner from the national championship,
sure.
the Olympics. You know that. But did his style of play lead to championship and championship basketball?
Facts. Yo, Richard Jefferson is cooking right here. That's the importance of Kobe's 2 championships. It really proved the point that Kobe's play style can get to the final pinnacle, especially that championship against the Boston Celtics. That solidified Kobe's spot in just the hierarchy of legends, that he is up there with a certain tier because of him defeating that team. But again, his beef with Shaq was really him beginning to take the reins and just wanting full control of the LA Lakers, and everything good or bad falling on his shoulders with him being a team captain.
It didn't. Now there was draft picks with the Knicks.
Right.
There was all these things, but ultimately you have to prove that your style of dominance can translate to championship.
Which is hard.
Which is hard to do.
And which is something that Trae Young is going through right now. It's been a rocky road just to start off his career with all these changes, not only in the front office, but also with the head coaches and the player personnel. That's why I said this upcoming season, it is going to be huge for Trae Young. He doesn't necessarily have championship pressure, but he has sort of the same pressure to at least have a successful season, whether that be finishing a 4th seed or a 5th seed or even a 6th seed. Even if he gets knocked out in the first round, that will be considered a success, because all that losing that he did in the beginning, getting DeJounte Murray on the team and it's still not equating to success, all the variations they had, all the money they spent, all the draft picks that they traded away, the only consistent part is Trae Young being there. So he looks like the mole right now.
Right? Even LeBron doesn't play that way. Think about how many players play like Kevin Durant, but even Kevin Durant was a souped up version, and he had better teams around him than Carmelo did, right? So it's hard to compare those scores and that style of give me the ball, I'm gonna lead us.
But at the same time, Carmelo kind of had the same issues as Trae Young. For the level of player that everyone perceives you to be, there's no reason why your team is missing the playoffs. In Melo's case, or even getting knocked out in the play-in with multiple losses with Trae Young. Remember, the Hawks entered the play-in as an 8th seed and they lost 2 games in a row. And they have multiple seasons where they got knocked out in the play-in rounds.
Let me ask you a further question. SGA.
Very different.
No.
Is it?
No, it's not. No.
Is it?
No, I'm with you.
Is it?
He's like MJ.
Yes, it is.
But
But he plays, so playing from the post, right? Playing from the post is a lot different than playing from the top of the key, because when teams help at the boxes and elbows, he's making those shots to Chet, but he's also, number one, getting to the free throw line. He's playing faster.
He's scoring that thing.
He's
scoring that thing, and
he's getting to the free throw line.
And he's playing defense, most importantly. Game 4 of the NBA Finals, OKC was on the road in that 3rd quarter, about to go down 3-1. Nothing was going well for that team offensively. And SGA turned on the Jets and locked up defensively until he woke up in the 4th quarter. That's the fucking difference. We got to ask ourselves, can stars like Carmelo Anthony and Trae Young do the same?
It doesn't matter.
Wait.
I'm also going to say this. He's won. So obviously, his shit works.
No,
it's different.
But the point is, you have to prove that your style of play can win.
Yeah.
And it's also determined by the players that you have around them. I would say that guys like Shea, Kevin Durant, they have had better teams historically
I'll give you that.
than Carmelo has, right? But that still falls on, as we've been in locker rooms with Bron and Dirk, the best players know this is all on me.
And even though KD and SGA had better players than you would say Melo or even Trae Young to a degree, there's no reason why your star is perceived as such a tier that your team is completely missing the playoffs or just completely getting bodied in the play-in. Again, there's levels to this. It's the way these guys are losing. Their seasons are not that far off from a bad team, let's say like the Washington Wizards, or even the Detroit Pistons when they were going through their woes, or even not far off from the not serious Charlotte Hornets. If you're Trae Young or even Carmelo Anthony, you shouldn't have multiple seasons ending no different than the LaMelo Charlotte Hornets.
Win and lose, everyone's going to look on me. So it's my job to prove that my style of play can win, right? And that's the part. Shea, Carmelo, exact same. They might have Kobe, Carmelo, exact same mindset style of player. Okay. They have to prove that their 30 a night, their 29 a night leads to wins. Shea did it. Shea was leading the league in scoring, like all the things. Like that's hard to do as a guard. Multiple years at that efficiency level.
And Kobe didn't really start doing that until after 2006. See, when Shaq first left, 2005, 2006, that's when he was beginning to learn how to frame his game as a leader and making sure that it results in a W. I believe that 2005 season, they finally let the leash off and, he kind of got free reins to go ham and just drop 81 points in a game, just take up a bunch of shots. But then after that 05 season, 06, 07, that's when you started to see the wheels turn as Kobe began to refine his game around the team concept. And in 08, 09, and 2010 is when you kind of seen everything come together in a perfect synergy, and it resulted in championship level basketball.
Right? Don't tell me about free throws. Carmelo was getting free throws. Everybody was. Kobe getting free throws. Shea proved that his 30 a game is a championship 30. There's been 4 guys in the last 30 years that have done that? I can average 30 in the season and go win a championship, win it.
Now, RJ, quick question for you. How many guys averaged 30 a game and it produced a losing season? I bet you there's 10 times more players versus the other way around that you just stated.
An MVP? That shit is different, bro, NBA history. Like, how many people have averaged 30 and won a championship? MJ, was he the last one? I don't know if Bron hit 30. I don't know if Kobe was averaging 30 during those 2 seasons that they won after Shaq. He might have been 28.
I think all 3 of those
Kobe
were
was 30.
I know. I'm saying I know he hit 30, but did he average 30 the season that they won those 2 championships?
I would say yes.
I would say no.
I would say no too. And also with LeBron going into Miami, Pat Riley actually honed his game in. He averaged less points, assists, and rebounds, I believe, in those Miami Heat years. You fellas could definitely look it up. His numbers were down from what he did in Cleveland. It's not only because he was playing alongside Dwayne Wade and Bosh, he actually had to play within a system in Miami. That's why there was so many clashes when he first got there with Eric Spoelstra, and also that meltdown that he had in the finals. He had to play within a frame, and that was not the case in Cleveland. He was sort of still playing that playground style basketball where everything was centered around him and what he could create out of playing in the wing in that point forward position.
I would say no. 30's a heavy number.
I think 3 of those were Jordan.
That's what I'm saying. 30 in a championship, bro?
No.
That's different world.
So the names of guys that hit 30 points per game and won a championship is Kareem, Rick Barry, Michael Jordan multiple years, and then SGA. So not even LeBron and Kobe made this list. That tells you how difficult it is. Remember, championship level basketball is a team game. And that right there is the major gap between NBA fan bases and this whole Trae Young versus Pat Bev debate.
Hang on though, didn't they won a championship in 02-03?
Yeah, but he didn't average 30.
Yeah, he did.
Who, Kobe?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Double check. Keep going.
Wait, is it 2000? No, I'm sorry. They didn't win it in 03.
They lost.
They
lost.
Oh, 01-02.
Yeah.
So it was the year after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Perfect example right there, because sometimes there is a correlation of guys averaging too much points to win. And Charles Barkley once had made that reference about Luka when he was averaging, I believe, 36 points per game at a point when he was on the Mavericks. Charles Barkley's like, he's going to have to turn that down a notch and include his teammates in order to win. Kobe has said the same thing about James Harden. It was nice that he was killing it, averaging almost 35 points per game, but he's like, if he wants to win the finals, that play style won't end up working. And I believe Kobe Bryant was speaking like that out of personal experience. As we see, he went through the same thing in the 2003 season.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where I say Carmelo's a 30-point-a-game scorer. Kevin Durant, a 30-point-a-game scorer. Those guys are judged. James Harden, 30-point-a-game scorer. Those guys are judged differently, right? Like, that's what Bron only hit 30 a few times.
So what's the difference then?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the difference between Shea and Melo, other than their team? What do you think, like...
The eras are also different. Melo played in an era where the game was much slower and it was sort of worked in from the inside out. And now the game is just from the outside. Everybody's spread out on the floor and the pace is a lot faster. It's really the eras. Players like Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, and just a lot of the heavy scorers of the early 2000s, they would have an easier time scoring today in their primes, but the only difference is they will be going up against multiple guys that are 6'8", 6'7", trying to defend them. That's really the only difference. And these guys are also skilled, so defensively, they would have to step up. You know, just having times on defense where they're sort of, you know, on easy mode, it would be hard to hide them. Guys like T-Mac and Melo especially.
I know, I just
Or you just think it's the team?
This is what I would say. I would say that Shea proves that his 30 a game is in a class of very few people. Carmelo is the same scoring legit, and don't get me wrong, Shea's even more efficient, but I don't think Carmelo had the teams around him. But in basketball hierarchy, what did you do with what you have? We criticized LeBron for going and losing to the finals and getting swept by the Spurs when he was in fucking year 23. We can't absolve Carmelo of the 30 points a game he scored, top 10 all time in scoring, and say, hey, what did you do with that 30 for your teams? And I'll give him some, like, his teams weren't great, but there were opportunities for him to go other places. He did have, like, again, in Denver teams. Yeah.
Also, we should give him a little bit more credit because he played in the most physical era of the NBA, which is, I would say, the late 90s, the early 2000s. The game was so physical that the final scores would be like 75 to like 70 or 69. And it was just not a good television product overall. It was just way too slow. Teams had way too many enforcers who didn't really have to have crazy skill sets. They just had to have brute and strength. And those days are pretty much over.
We're balling.
That was my worst.
Yeah. So then you start looking at, defensively, what was Carmelo defensively? Then you start looking at players in other spaces. So I just say the 30-point a game and win an MVP, you put yourself in the class of the Kobes, of those, like, there's very few people that have ever done it. We can't put Shea in the same category from, like, the winning standpoint as a team, but from a scorer, you got to prove.
And RJ nails it right on the head. As a scorer, the burden of proof is on you, and it's definitely on Trae Young to perhaps get his teammates more involved. And the Hawks personnel and coaching staff kind of has to hold him more accountable for his shot selection and just kind of added more versatility to their offense with the three-point shooting. They don't have to chuck up as much. They can utilize more of the mid-range since everyone is so spaced out on the floor. The mid-range shot is actually perhaps more wide open than it's ever been. So hopefully this has been a healthy perspective on just some of the, I would say some of the gaps between this whole Trae Young and Pat Bev beef on social media, because you can see the two NBA fan bases colliding just at two different ideologies. The guys who appreciate the more individual game, just bringing up the points per game, who is Pat Bev to talk, and also the side of the NBA audience where they appreciate winning and they respect it a lot more. They're seeing way too many guys get the name of superstars, but yet they can't even make the play-in.